The Aptera Motors technology startup in the USA is one step closer putting a small urbanized runabout with onboard solar panels into production. It's a three-wheeled electric car expected to be manufactured next year. What are the features of its solar-powered cars? How are solar-powered cars more sustainable? Stay tuned to the end to find out all the important, unanswered questions we need answered. First up, what are the features of solar-powered cars? Solar vehicles are electric vehicles that use self-contained solar cells to power themselves fully or partially from sunlight. Solar vehicles typically have a rechargeable battery to control and store the energy from solar cells and regenerative braking. The surface of the car, usually the top, is covered with solar panels. Solar energy is directly converted into electrical energy by photovoltaic PV cells. Solar cars have historically been criticized for having low autonomy, in part because it's challenging to increase solar panel efficiency and because their design aims to reduce aerodynamic drag. Additionally, to improve overall energy efficiency, the majority of experimental prototypes are built with very light materials. However, projects and prototypes are already underway to market solar cars in the medium term, such as Aptera provides a new look into the car's interior, which demonstrates an elegant and modern instrument cluster screen and center display, lots of headroom and matte white detailing. Next up, what are some of the working principles of solar car? Solar cars have solar panels custom designed to be mounted on the surfaces receiving maximum sun rays, which is generally the rooftop. The photovoltaic cells on the solar panels comprise silicon and a combination alloy of gallium, indium, and nitrogen gas. These elements have a natural retentive property that allows them to absorb the light energy from the solar rays. The retained energy in this released in the form of free-moving electrons into specially designed storage sections. In fact, we refer to this storage facility as the batteries. They are made up of unique substances like nickel, cadmium, lithium-ion, and other substances. Free electrons can be converted by these batteries into useful energy to run the engine of the car. The specialty of these batteries is what we can use repeatedly to power the vehicle. We can accomplish this by using solar energy to recharge them with the ability to generate 80 to 150 volts of energy. Solar-powered cars can cover 60 to 90 kilometers on a single full charge. The best feature of these solar cars is their ability to continuously recharge their batteries even when they are parked in direct sunlight and doing nothing. Consequently, this makes a car's operating expenses almost non-existent. Next off, how are solar-powered cars more sustainable? According to a number of companies that plan to release commercial solar-assisted vehicles in the next 2 years, electric vehicles powered by solar energy may not be a technological pipe dream. Manufacturers in the transportation industry have high hopes for this technology, which should save money and reduce emissions of CO2 and dangerous substances like diesel particulate. Vehicles will be able to comply with environmental zone requirements in urban areas thanks to this as well. Solar energy doesn't emit harmful chemicals into the atmosphere or increase greenhouse gas emissions as oil and coal do. It lessens the need for us to burn fossil fuels, which lowers air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. Additionally, solar energy supplements our local hydropower, which is reliant on a finite freshwater supply, costs a lot to maintain, and has a history of upsetting salmon and other wildlife. Unlike oil and coal, solar doesn't spew toxic chemicals into the atmosphere or add to greenhouse gas emissions. Solar power also supplements our local hydropower, which is dependent on an ever-declining supply of fresh water with no tailpipe. Pure electric cars produce no carbon dioxide emissions when driving. In just over a year, just one electric car on the road can save an average of 1.5 million grams of CO2. That's the equivalent of 4 return flights from London to Barcelona. Next up, what are some of the drawbacks to solar power cars? Electric vehicles are gaining in popularity, but there are also some drawbacks as well. One of the big perceived drawbacks is how long it takes to charge them. Some companies have solar-powered cars available for pre-order today, but what's the reality behind those cars? Can they provide enough power to fit the bill? Secondly, you can only get solar power during the day or when there was fewer cloudy days. For cars to be able to run at night, solar energy must be stored in pricey batteries. Solar cells are not very effective and consumer cars cannot use their large collector areas. Unfortunately, solar cars are currently unsuitable for daily transportation. However, enthusiasts who want to race them build solar cars for specific purposes, demonstration, and engineering exercises. Most notably, the car's solar array has a hard time producing enough energy to propel the vehicle. Due to the added weight of a passenger, most solar race cars can only accommodate one person. Another significant problem is how solar cars collect and store energy, because buildings, the space station, and even satellites are frequently exposed to the sun. Using solar power makes sense. These applications can also store solar energy using batteries. Next up, how will solar-powered cars revolutionize the automobile industry? Solar-powered automobiles have gained popularity since people have shown a greater interest in sustainable energy resources. Many automakers are putting a lot of effort into developing effective solar vehicles. Several solar-powered vehicle prototypes are currently being developed. Both small and large automakers are working on hybrid solar vehicles. According to estimates, the global market for solar vehicles will likely reach $689 billion by 2027. Thanks to interim technology, automobile manufacturers are already working on ways to capitalize on the concept. This also includes solar roof panels for recharging batteries and internal systems. Additionally, the market is anticipated to be driven by research and technological advancements to increase the efficiency of solar cells so they can absorb more energy. Solar-powered automobiles also require less maintenance. Other benefits of solar-powered vehicles include no engine noise, no emissions, and simple charging. During the forecast period, it is anticipated that increased government efforts to reduce the vehicle emissions will also fuel the market for solar-powered vehicles. Similar to how the future of solar cars is anticipated to be highly promising, numerous automakers are currently conducting research to find cutting-edge technologies that can reduce their carbon footprint and raise consumer demand for more environmentally friendly cars. Next off, what's the difference between electric cars and solar cars? Solar cars and electric cars are two very different types of vehicles. They both rely on alternate forms of energy to drive, but there are key differences between them. Now we'll talk about the similarities and differences between the two so that you can make an informed decision when buying a car. To begin with, electric cars are powered by batteries, but different forms of energy can be used to power electric vehicles. Older electric car models may have used nickel metal hydrogen and IMH batteries. However, lithium-ion batteries are frequently used in more recent models. An electric car is propelled by an electrically charged battery. The idea of the solar car is somewhat unique. It is still an electric vehicle, but the batteries that store its electricity come from the sun. Your car's battery pack is charged by a solar array on top of it, allowing you to travel as much as possible using renewable energy. An electric vehicle powered by one or more electric motors is an electric vehicle, also known as an EV, is composed of mechanical, electrical, and electronic subsystems as well as an information subsystem. By public transportation networks, an EV is composed of mechanical, electrical, and electronic subsystems, as well as an informed subsystem. One idea would be to build solar power charging stations in parking lots to create electricity that goes into the electric power grid. Next off, when will solar-powered automobiles be available? In reality, there are many obstacles to overcome, not the least of which is solar cell efficiency, which is still far from ideal. However, the first models have already stepped into the starting blocks. Could this possibly be shortly? The solar car is ready in your garage with just a few dozen large, powerful solar cells on the roof, right? If it works, then why aren't photovoltaic modules installed on the roofs of all electric cars already? The US, Japanese, and South Korean car makers are experimenting with solar cells that increase the electric range by up to 5 kilometers a day on sunny days. Mercedes-Benz also has its sights set on using solar cells. In its Vision EQXX concept car, the current prototype achieves up to 25 kilometers of extra range per day under ideal conditions. The World Solar Challenge takes place in Bochum, Germany every year with the purpose of driving a solar car around the world. So far, the team has driven a small sedan nearly 30,000 kilometers through Australia, New Zealand, and USA, France, and Luxembourg. Solar cars will feature customized energy systems with very high efficiency. A key parameter for the performance of a solar cell: the more energy the cells converts, the better balance in terms of resource consumption during cell production. So where can the journey of a solar electromobility take us? Aptera Motors from San Diego, California is working on a solar vehicle that is in a league of its own in terms of design. In a nutshell, solar-powered automobiles are the ultimate solution to many environmental problems. Do they represent the beginning of a more expensive, ambitious, and perhaps thrilling product development journey? Or are they merely pricey toys for people who only need to travel a short distance each day while carrying a light load? Well, you make sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. See you in the next